What's going on, brothers and sisters? This is the Watcher. Also go by Michiana area Yasharala, which Yasharala means Israel. Coming to you with another video. Alright, and this is going to be dealing with this video is going to be dealing with a guy by the name of Reeves. Alright, I want to title the video Black History Month, something to that effect. I'll come up with a title by the time I'm done recording this video. Okay, but before I get started, I just want to give all praises to the Most High. Peace and blessings to you, Akim and you, Akwaf, your brothers and sisters who come to know who the true Hebrew Israelites are, which are the Negroes, and they're seeking the Heavenly Father until the return of the Son. All right. As I was saying, Reeves. All right. Who was he was a lawman, all right, back in like the 1800s, like somewhere around 18. Got some of his information. Salakia, not Baz Reeves, which that's his name, but he was a law enforcement. He was in law enforcement, man, meaning he was like some type of marshal. Okay, and this was like I said, in the 1800s, like around the time the so-called Negroes were free, so-called free, the Emancipation Proclamation, which Abraham Lincoln never freed the slaves. Okay, because we're still here in our modern day captivity, and it's more worse than ever, because we're not only are we slave to our oppressor, but we're just slaves to the system. Okay, which the oppressor, he runs the system Salakia. All right, so we're not free. All right, this guy Baz Reeves, like I said, he was a let me just get some of his information. All right, and this is a picture of him. Okay, this is a picture of him. Hopefully y'all can see. This, like I said, his name is Baz Reeves. He was in law enforcement, like around the 1870s or 1860s. I'll get this information here in a minute. All right. And reason why, my main reason for doing this, basically bringing this guy out, because it's Black History Month. All right. This is February. February is about to come to a close. All right, and I thought talk about something that has to do with Black History Month or someone. All right. This guy Baz Reeves, man, he being a marshal or a sheriff, man. This is some things that we don't get taught. I never heard of Baz Reeves, man. I never heard of this guy, and I was heavy into I was very into old Western movies, man. When I was younger, I used to love the Western movies, man. I used to study up on them too. All right, Billy the Kid, Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday, the OK Corral, man. Wild Bill Hitchcock, something like that. Salakia, Wild Bill Hickok, something like that. Buffalo Bill, which Buffalo Bill, he wasn't no real like cowboy. He was just a showman. All right, he had a circus. Okay, but I was big into Western, man. Western movies and real life characters and outlaws, man. All right. Remember, my dad, he had the little documentary, man, on like guys from the old west, and then he had another one dealing with Apache. I mean Geronimo. All right, the Apache warrior. So I was heavy into the old western, man. But I never heard of Baz Reeves, man. I never heard of that guy. I I just recently Slovakia. Recently just looked this guy up, man. All right. I say about, what's today? Saturday. I think it was Thursday. They got a magazine dealing with, the old west, how it was back in the western days, like like I said, the 1800s. Um, it all the way up to today, because you still got a lot of guys with cowboys. That's basically what the magazine is. It's somewhat of a cowboy magazine, and I looked through it, and man, I saw this person, man, and it kind of moved me, man. That here it is. He was in law enforcement, and he was a black guy, man. Okay. Slovakia. Oh shoot, I don't think I can't get into this. Okay. All right. Slovakia. What was I saying? I kind of lost my thought. I was in a Walmart, and I was in this magazine dealing with the old west, or the cowboys. And this guy, Baz Reeves, just caught my attention, and it wooed me, man. See, this is some of his information. Baz Reeves was an American law enforcement officer. He was the first black deputy U.S. Marshal west of the Mississippi River. He worked mostly in Arkansas and the Oklahoma Territory. Okay, I can't pull I can't pull the rest of his information out because something's going on with my Wi-Fi. I'm not connected to my actual Wi-Fi that's in my apartment. All right, but the main point is that an American law enforcement officer. He was the first black U.S. deputy. Okay, I never heard of this man. All right, I wasn't taught this in school. He wasn't taught back in my days when I was going to school, man. Okay, not even on Black History Month. All right. This is something that most of our people need to hear, man. We need to hear something like this, man, because we're even though a large majority of our people were slaves, because that's a curse. That's a curse on us. All right. But you still had great men and women. Okay. You have more of our people. You have our people out there, man, doing more than what we're taught. Okay. Like Harriet Tubman. All right. How she was helping some of the slaves to escape slavery. to get them free. All right. Nat Turner, which you don't hear about Nat Turner neither, man, in school. I learned about Nat Turner through my pops, man. All right, he had a book about Nat Turner, man. It's kind of funny how, man, when it comes to a positive, someone, a positive influence on our people, you don't hear about them, man. Okay, dealing with the so-called Negro. I mean, don't get me wrong. You hear about Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth. These were people during the time of actual hardcore slavery. Okay, and then there's the usual. You got Thurgood Marshall. You got your Thurgood Marshalls. You got Langston Hughes. Who else? George Washington Carver. These are people during the time of like the early 20th century, like somewhere like late 1800s, early 1900s. All right. I'm trying to think of some more. I really can't think of any more. I should have had a list of them. Which those guys are cool, those guys are cool. Even though when it comes to Black history, man, we go farther than our history goes farther than what we're taught. Okay. We come from Africa. We came over here from Africa, and we came into slavery, and then we were somewhat freed from slavery. Then you had all these so-called great people, all right, dealing with the so-called Negro, which is cool. Okay. But man, our history goes further back, man. Further back. Okay. I did a video like this, I think like last year, man, talking about how we're a great people, man, and the real Black history, man, it goes far beyond than what we have right now and what we're taught in these elementary schools, high schools, and college, man, and all these so-called history books, man. All right, we're the Israelites, man, the Hebrew Israelites of the Bible, man. That's our history right there, man. Moses was a so-called black man. Samson was a so-called black man. Joshua was a so-called black man. Aaron was a so-called black man. Mary, the sister, was a so-called black woman. All right, and they wasn't African. Okay, just because the colored people here in America, just because we're people of color, doesn't make us African, man. All right. Majority of the nations within the earth were people of color. The only one who doesn't have color is the so-called white man. All right. Which he was there back then in ancient times. All right. But he wasn't called he wasn't called a white man or American. All right. Or what he's labeled today. All right. He has a biblical name. All right. Just like all the other nations. All right. David was a black man. Saul, black man. Solomon, black man, man. All right. The prophets, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, um, Daniel, Elijah, Elisha, all right, Nahum, Micah, Obadiah, Haggai, all right, Habakkuk, Zephaniah, Zechariah, all the way up until um, the well, they the prophets, all right, but they're known biblical, known men of the Bible, all right. And you got the Maccabees, okay, and then ooh, I forgot to mention Tobit. These are other men that's in the Apocrypha, which the Apocrypha is lost books from the Bible that were taken out. All right, because there's a cutoff point within the Bible. All right, like let's see, from the beginning Genesis all the way up to not Numbers, Deuteronomy, and then there's Joshua, Judges, Ruth, then 1 Samuel, 2 Samuel, 1 Kings, 2 Kings, dealing with our history, all right? And then there's Ezra, Nehemiah, and Esther, all right? When we were under the Babylonians, and then eventually our captivity was transferred to the Media Persian, all right? And then there's really no story after that. But the continuation is in the Apocrypha, dealing with the Maccabees, all right? How they were under the Greek rule, all right? Then after that, eventually Rome, all right? Okay, and then that's when the time of Christ came about, which Christ is a black man, all right? Revelations 1:13 through 15. Not only him, but the 12 disciples as well, even though there was more than 12 disciples, and the apostles, all right, which the apostles is the disciples, all of them were black, man. Peter, James, John, Andrew, Paul, all right. Then even the ones even after Paul that don't really get spoke about, man. All of them, they were all black people. The Hebrew Israelites are people of color, all right. So if there's anything that's going to be taught within Black History Month, that should be taught. Okay? Instead of just this Americanized tradition that they gave us, dealing with black people, that were great. Like I said, not taking nothing away from them. But there's more, man. More. All right? And somebody like this guy, Baz Reeves, man, hey, this is just an example, man. Like I said, I never heard about this man. It's just, it woos me, man, because there's more people, there's more of our people out there, man, like him. Okay? There was more than there's more than one Nat Turners out there, man. All right, who came against their owners, man. The slaves that were like who had the Nat Turner mentality, man. Who came up against their slave owners, man. All right, but we're not taught this, man. We're not taught we're not taught that we had people of our nationality who were U.S. deputies, man. That makes that the movies like Posse and Blazing Saddle true, man. How back in them times in the 1800s, you had black men who were U.S. deputy marshals, man. All right. So this type of information makes the movies true, man. All right. And I'm gonna go more into this, deeper into this, man. My whole point of this video was based on pretty much Black History Month. Black History Month is pretty much ending because the month is ending, and I just wanted to, I guess, play a part in it or do something, bring out some type of information. All right, dealing with Black History Month. Okay, this guy Baz Reeves. I just thought I'd do something on it, just talk about him a little bit. All right, but hopefully this video was somewhat edifying or something you can get out of it. I don't know. Hopefully whoever watches it, you can get something out of it. I might redo it, I don't know. I just flow with the spirit. All right. But with that, want to give all praises once again to the Most High. Peace and blessings to you, Akim, you Akbar, for brothers and you sisters. Keep seeking the Heavenly Father until the return of the Son, with long suffering, patience, and diligence, and endure to the end. With that, just say peace.